My name is Matthew DeMoylan, and I completed the Refuge in October of 2018. Before I came into the Refuge, I was about 7 years into an active addiction. What started was opiates. I started with painkillers for various reasons, which eventually led to heroin. I lost my place, my apartment. I was staying at various friends' houses that weren't good houses to stay in. Sometimes I was sleeping in my car. So I was really starting to border or push that homelessness. Initially, when I was taken to the Refuge, I didn't know where I was going. My sister just said, pack your bags, and what's interesting is, like, I was so ready that I didn't ask where I was going. I didn't ask how long is it gonna be, what can I do, what can I not do. But I remember sitting there thinking, what other option do I have right now? Like I said, at this point I was almost homeless. I was pretty much at the end of my rope. I was afraid of dying. And I thought, what do you have to lose? Why don't you try praying? And so I prayed. First time I prayed, and a lot of it was anger towards God. And then it transitioned to, did you bring me here? If you did bring me here, give me some signs. So that willingness piece, just that willingness at the church to give this a shot when I was just like, this is not where I thought I was going. And then once I got there, and it was a little bit of, there's an uncertainty about it, I was a willingness again. And then after that first week, and I would say going into that second week, I knew I was going to be here for 13 months. The biggest thing that changed about me in my time in the Refuge, I would say it was two things. The first is my ability to love God above all things, that I did not think that was possible for myself. And then the second thing, the ability to love myself again and to rediscover who I was, but also to discover who I become because of the hardships that I faced. So I met my wife. It all started with, at this point, I finished the ministry and I was a coordinator for the Refuge. I saw her at church a few times, and, for whatever reason, I did not say hi, and I always chickened out.
And I actually, expressed some honest hesitancy in the moment with just knowing that he was involved in some capacity with the Refuge. I didn't really know anything about his story. And it wasn't really about the past, but more of just my own misconceptions about addiction.
Now that I became a member at Veritas, I was just like, I want to join a community group. So I went to this community group, and so lo and behold, this was the same community group that Lauren went to. It's just she was not there the first week that I attended. And so when I found out that she was there, I was just like, well, what a coincidence that is. And so the next time that we had community group, that was our first time that we spoke.
And I remember Amber actually had said, I will say that those guys that go through the Refuge have worked through their own stuff. They have really worked through things. So that kind of gave me some sense of hope and reassurance, and you didn't have to twist my arm too much to stay interested.
So we got married on October 4th of 2020, just a little shy of 2 years of dating. Our daughter Sophia was born August 9th of 2021 last year.
I truly could not wish for or pick a better father for my daughter. I'm very lucky that, when we met, we really wanted the same things, and we're both very excited to start a family, and we started our family very quickly after getting married, and he is just the most supportive and dad, but also just, I would say the biggest attributes is how he provides and serves us. He is truly a servant at heart.
So currently right now I work for Franklin County Public Health. I am the Care Coordination Division Supervisor. So community health workers work one-on-one with individuals in the community to address various challenges, barriers that they have, whether that's social barriers, whether that's health barriers. Our clients are individuals that are in, active addiction, or, they're post treatment. These are individuals with mental health. We work a lot with the criminal justice system and individuals in various drug courts and catch courts.
It is great to see how everything that Matthew learned through his own going through the program of the Refuge and being a coordinator, and how he served the men there, and then how that's transitioned to serving the community of Columbus, especially the West Side, is just amazing to see how he's able to, or how God's able to use him in that role now.
You know, the simple answer to like what changed me is, you know, it's Christ. To me, total transformation is becoming somebody that is unrecognizable to who you were before. You know, I'm not that person anymore because I love God and I love myself for who God made me.
Good evening. I wanted to begin by acknowledging what your presence tonight represents, especially for me, and that support. You know, your attendance here is currently supporting a man that is currently in the Refuge, and those of us that formerly attended the Refuge, like myself. This story, it's not atypical, and I really want to emphasize that. Like, my success is not unique. It is but one story of hundreds and hundreds of men that have done this for the past 20 years. Even amongst this room, I can identify so many alumni now that are leaders within their families, responsible fathers and honoring husbands, and men who are leaders in their communities, and you know, men that are leaders within their workplaces. Our successes, our shared success, can be founded within the principles that are taught at the Refuge. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. And those principles are, they're inspired by God, and there's something that's called upon by every Christian. You know, a commitment to God, relationship with others, a willingness to be taught, honesty and authenticity, gratitude and thankfulness, courage and faith, and work ethic and stewardship. You know, when I think about my life right before I entered the Refuge, and I mentioned I was almost practically living out of my car, to what my life has become and what my life is now, I'm dumbfounded. I really am. I've been so incredibly blessed since I completed the Refuge in 2018. I have a relationship with Christ that I never thought was possible. I'm a part of a church that has a community that is alive, in which we serve each other and serve the neighborhood. The same church is where I met my wife, and I now have a family and an opportunity to be a father. And somehow this ex-addict has a leadership position at Franklin County Public Health, which I'm entrusted to implement programs and policy to those that are marginalized within our community, which ironically used to be me. You know, my life, the life of the alumni that's in this room, and all alumni, I think, can be summed up by this: but God. But God. You know, by God and through God, my life was saved. By God and through God, you all are here. And even though you may not have been donors in 2017 that provided my way through the Refuge, you're still nonetheless, you are part of the equation, all of you, on why I'm still alive today. And I just want to go back to that one word in the beginning, which is support, and your support. And for that, I am incredibly grateful, and thank you.